Hi guys, this is Ishaan and you're watching me on letsthinkaloud.com with Himani. I think I have thought out loud a whole lot on this interview, but it's been wonderful speaking with Himani, and here's urging all of you to go out there and watch Beyond the Clouds. It comes out this week, and it'll be out in cinemas, and it's a beautiful film. It's the first Hindi film by the world-renowned filmmaker Majid Majidi. I'm elated to be a part of it. And yeah, it comes out this week, so please go out there and see it and share your opinions. Hi, Himani.
Hey, Ishaan. How are you?
I'm good. How's it going?
Good, yeah. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to record this. We quickly do it and I'll set you free.
Sure, it's no problem at all. Don't worry about it.
All right. Letsthinkaloud.com. You're tuned in with me, Himani, and I have the privilege of watching this beautiful film titled Beyond the Clouds. And yes, I have, because we had a special media preview in Singapore. Beautiful film. I loved it. I think you have, and I think I was telling even people from Z that Ishaan's like taken over the film. I mean, I don't think that this guy is a debutant, and it's his first film. Such a strong screen persona. How is it, Ishaan Khattar, who's right now with me all the way from Mumbai shooting for Dhadak?
Oh, it feels wonderful. I mean, it's very exciting, and I think it's palpable excitement. I can feel it nearing, the date. And
right.
I'm so excited to share it with people all over the world. It's a worldwide release, and we have traveled with this film a little bit, so I kind of have an idea of how people are reacting to it all over the world. There's been similar reactions.
Right.
I feel like it's a very universal film. But, there's nothing quite like the release of your first film, right?
Amazing. But Ishaan, what's very interesting, like I said in my introduction, that it doesn't seem like it's your first film. You are so confident. Where did this confidence come from? Is it like hereditary?
Well, thank you so much. Those are very kind words. I think the confidence comes from the material and the people that I had the good fortune to collaborate with. Of course, starting with Majidi sir. And I think more than anything, it was the fact that I was so ready to start this journey and to work, and I was extremely immersed in making this film and having it be as good as what it was on thought level. And so I think it's just complete immersion in the creative process, and it was such a high, that I think, it's one of those films, it's really a maverick film to make, because here's a man who's 57 years old, he's a senior man, and he's like on his toes all the time. He's making a film in a foreign country. He's making a film with a crew, with an entirely Indian casting crew, who doesn't speak his language, and he only had 2 assistants with him from Iran, with whom he could communicate in Persian, but otherwise he was with a completely alien crew, and we became family during the making of this film. So it was a really exhilarating experience on set. But more than that, I think it was such a just such a unique experience. I just felt every day a very strong energy on set, and I was very happy to perform.
Right.
And I guess the character is he's a robust character. I couldn't have been unconfident playing this.
Fantastic. In fact, it is a very unconventional debut for any actor, and you have been bold enough and wise enough, I would say, to pick such a film. Tell us about your character, Amir.
Well, he's about an 18-year-old boy who is born and raised in Bombay and in Mumbai, and he was somebody who was orphaned at a very young age, and the only family that he has is his elder sister Tara, who has raised him till he was about 13, after which, because of a sequence of events, he has unfortunately had to leave his sister's house, and from then on he's kind of just fending for himself. So when you meet him in the film, when the narrative begins, he's about 18, 19 years old, and he's a street hustler. He's somebody who's probably spent nights on his own fending for himself on the streets, and he's this enterprising, robust young boy. And he's also talented and quick-witted, and he's a sharp kid.
Right.
But he's had this past which is filled with frustration and pain, and it's been a difficult childhood.
Right.
And his emotional core lies with his sister, but he's not with her. So he's kind of like a lone wolf. And so he's built this rough exterior about himself. You know, he comes across as this tough boy. Really, he's just a kid. He's just about an 18-year-old kid, you know. It's quite a layered part.
Lovely, lovely. Now, you know, we have this very interesting segment for you, Ishaan, which is Beyond, because the film is called Beyond the Clouds, because we want to dig into Ishaan a little more and try and know you a little more. So are you ready?
Sure. Good.
All right. Beyond the Clouds, we would go beyond the regular scope and ask you, life beyond films, what do you do? What does Ishaan do life beyond films?
Music and dance.
Music and dance, wow. So are you a trained dancer, Ishaan?
I am, yes. I trained formally for about a year, consistently, and I trained in various Western forms of dance. But dance is something that I've been watching and learning from since I was a young child, because my mother is an exponent of Kathak and she's a beautiful dancer. And she's a very accomplished dancer. She's traveled all over the world representing our country. She was only 14 when she was on the postage stamp of India. It's something that has been deeply cultivated in both my brother and I since we were kids.
Right.
So that is something that it comes very naturally to us, and you know, dance and rhythm and music and the art. So that's a very big part of me. I'm equally passionate about dancing as I am about acting. Yeah, so that I would say is
the Muqabala promo that you have put up on your Instagram page, and I think that's one of the biggest moments of the film where Majid has used a lot of silhouettes in a lot of dance sequences, and he's made sure Ishaan's danced.
Well, you know, I think that's something that he didn't intend to exploit that much in the beginning, but he realized that it's a really interesting moment. It's in context to a certain situation that the character is in. And so it's not a dancey sequence at all. There's very much a reason for why this character is dancing.
Right.
And it was completely unchoreographed. There's nobody supervising the dance on set. He just told me that you know, this is the setup, and just go out there and just dance. He just said action. He didn't give me any brief for that. So the wonderful thing that happened was the first track that I played, which was completely a coincidence, happened to be Muqabala. And I didn't even know that they would retain it in the film, but they ended up keeping it because it's Rahman sir's song, who's done the score for our film. It became an alive moment in our film, and it's one of the highlights now. So.
Yeah, and the way you move, man, I mean, it's amazing. You're going to put like a lot of dancers to shame. Trust me, and I'm not saying that. But I was like, because I used to watch some of your Insta videos, but when I saw you in the film, I'm like, wow, like he really dances well. I mean, he's really got it in him. He's really a dancer.
Please don't embarrass me, ma'am. I really intend to grow as a dancer. I really don't want people to judge me by these. These are just fun videos.
Okay, moving on. Beyond teenage. How was life as a teenager for Ishaan?
I used to move a lot in terms of we would move houses a lot. I lived in about 17 houses.
Wow, really?
When I was a lot of rented houses basically. When I was 16 years old, I moved into the house that I'm in now, which is pretty much been the most permanent place that I've been in. And so, you know, my environment would keep changing. That was around the age when I really started watching cinema more seriously. Especially when I was about 14, 15 years old is when I started watching a lot of world cinema, and a little after that I started frequenting film festivals and kind of just expanding my horizons in terms of cinema all over the world. And it really became like my education and my university, because I didn't take any formal training in acting, and I knew very early on that this is what I want to do. So my best way of educating myself in not only about cinema but about topics all over the world and history and, you know, society and politics and of course the arts and human nature, psychology, all of these things interest me. The best way to educate myself was through cinema. So I started watching a very eclectic, you know, bunch of films, and I did some theatre workshops here and there. I started to travel in my later teenage years. First time I went abroad essentially was when I was 18 in 2014.
Okay.
And I was about 18, 19, and I went abroad and kind of had like a backpacking trip on my own in the UK, and then I got the opportunity to travel a little more after that. and traveling within India. So a lot of traveling, dance, cinema.
Okay. Beyond the camera, describe your relationship with the camera in 3 words.
In 3 words.
Take your time.
Yeah. Well, one for sure will be subliminal, synchronized.
Okay.
And well, I think for the third one, I'll bounce a sentence and say it's kind of like an exchange of energies.
Nice.
So yeah, and also exploration, because I really do enjoy being behind the camera as well, and learning as much as I can on set. I've assisted on 2 films in the direction team.
Wow, I already feel that before your first film, you've already done a lot more than what most youngsters or teenagers would have done.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's so much to learn, right? If you have an interest in all of these aspects of cinema, it's much like life, it's from life, cinema. And there's so many dimensions and so many avenues to explore. Of course, I would say performing is the best part, for sure. There's nothing quite like it.
I'm sure. Okay, beyond April, Ishaan, after Beyond the Clouds, what lies ahead for you?
Hopefully more enriching, and hopefully more abundant in terms of, opportunities and, access to more maybe cinema and travel and music. And so I hope beyond April, I will see much more growth in me as a human being and as an artist both.
Wow, okay. And beyond your dream of being an artist, who do you aspire to work with? Name one director and one co-star each.
Anywhere in the world or just in Hindi films?
Anywhere in the world just becomes too broad, but let's stick to Hindi films now, unless you really want to name somebody from around the world.
Well, I mean, I think it would be any actor's dream to work with Meryl Streep, and I've found myself saying that a lot recently.
Wow, okay.
And I would love
okay, then give me another name.
But I guess amongst actresses and actors in Hindi cinema, I would. I have a lot of favorite filmmakers and a lot of favorite films, and it keeps changing every week because
I'm sure.
Again, I really do find a lot of inspiration in cinema, and I'm inspired very often. And I just saw October about a couple hours before our phone conversation. It's a film directed by Mrs. Majid, and it has Varun Dhawan starring in it. And I thought it was a wonderful film, and I would, be elated to work with the filmmaker and even Varun as an actor. So for now, I guess if you've asked, I would say that.
Okay, smart. All right. Okay, now one word for each of these, Ishaan. I'm going to name 5 things or people, and one word for them. Okay, Shahid.
Well, I've said this before. Well, I would say philosopher.
Okay, nice, interesting. Okay, Majid Majidi.
Magical.
Okay, Dharma Productions.
A hub for arts and culture and business enterprise, and just for the entertainment industry. Yeah.
Nice. Remakes, film remakes in the Hindi film industry.
One word. You want me to say one word for that?
Yeah. Take a couple of more if you want to. Do you think they work or do you think they fail?
Well, I think that's a subjective thing. I think it will be difficult to give a one-word answer for that. Oftentimes they are unnecessary, and oftentimes they work like magic.
Okay. Your co-star in Beyond the Clouds, Malvika?
Devoted.
Okay. What about friends in the industry? Since you are a newcomer, but I believe you have a lot of friends.
In the industry. Well, people whom I share my passion with.
Okay. Do you have any friends in the industry? Do you want to name any friends that you really get along with?
Well, I have, I'm acquainted with a lot of people, and I would say that my closest friends have been my friends since I was a kid, and they're not all, working in the Hindi film industry.
Okay.
But my best friend is now assisting, and if that counts, I would say, yeah, friends that are bonded by passion.
All right, I'll take that. I'm not very pleased, but I'll take it. Okay.
What do you want me to say?
Well, I just wanted to give me like some names, throw some names that people know, like some interesting names.
Friends in the industry, I would say, again, it's a very subjective thing, but I would say fun.
Okay, I said that I was hearing a couple of interviews that you did back home in India. I heard that in a lot of media conferences and stuff, you were thrown pretty bizarre questions like, you're the famous brother of the famous Shahid Kapoor, and is there competition at home, and whose advice would you take, etc., etc. And although I understand they're really awkward questions to take, which is like you really don't have an answer. But I want to ask you, who at home inspires you? What's your inspiration? Where does inspiration to give such solid performances, strong characters, beautiful films come from?
In relation to Beyond the Clouds, I can say the inspiration came from Mr. Majidi and the script that he wrote itself.
Okay.
And I think there are people that inspire me constantly, all kinds of people.
Okay. Does it bother you that you're constantly asked questions about your brother, or when it's very obvious that you both are close and really connected, but you're constantly there are comparisons drawn because you're the younger sibling of a famous brother? Does it bother you?
Look, I understand that he has a body of work that people have been following for years now, for about 16 years, and I am somebody who's just coming into starting off as an actor, and of course, since I am his younger brother, there will be people will be curious and they'll want to draw parallels, and so I understand that. I find it a little amusing when people pit us against each other in a competitive sense.
Right.
I don't understand that. I find it funny, but I don't get bothered by it. I understand where it's coming from, and I think it's also because there's been so much curiosity and so much talk, and I have been under people's radar, and people have kind of been watching me over the years before I've even started working. And nobody's seen my work yet. So it doesn't bother me at all. It's my reality that I'm his younger brother. And because people, kind of know the public image of him, the only comparisons they will make is as an actor and of what they've seen. And what gives me a lot of confidence is the fact that him and I are very happy, and he's seen the film, and I've been able to give back something that I've been borrowing from him for years. I've been inspired constantly by his work, and I've learned so much by watching him, and it kind of feels like when he feels happy or he feels satisfied or overjoyed to see my work, it kind of feels like giving back something, Okay. And I will always be 15 years behind. But it's just a great feeling. So there's no comparisons at home with family.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you. All the best. And we're going to be following your career, and may you have loads and loads of luck and great films to do.
Thank you so much, Himani. It was wonderful talking to you, and please forgive me for being all over the place. I'm quite a mess right now, but it was lovely talking regardless, and you were kind enough to steer it in the right direction every time I kind of went off.
No, man, you did.
Khichdi of this conversation.
No, you didn't make any khichdi. I think you were very well thought of and very well spoken. So I forgive you everything. Nothing went wrong. So thank you so much.
Thank you.